Good evening, participants. We are waiting for Vice Principal to join.
Rajesh, Rajesh.
So, with your kind permission, can we start, sir? Principal sir has given us knowledge.
Good evening, everybody. Please go ahead, Rajesh. No issue.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot, sir. Thank you, sir. So, once again, warm good evening to one and all. Today, on behalf of Department of Civil Engineering, BMS Institute of Technology and Management, it's my pleasure to welcome one and all on this August and noble occasion of the international webinar on prospective career aspects in civil engineering. On this occasion, it's my pleasure to welcome our benevolent management and chairman, sir. A lot of novel thoughts has gone into this concept and inception of this forum to enlighten the future of our nation, the future of this globe. And this was due to the vision of our beloved principal, sir, Dr. Mohan Babu Jian. I welcome you, sir. It's my proud privilege to welcome our chief guest and speaker for today, Dr. S. Nilamani, sir, Senior Research Scientist, Kuwait Institute of Scientific Research. Sir, we are all eager to hear you speak on this occasion. I thank you for accepting our request. I do realize that you have just delivered a keynote address and you are here for the benefit of all the young participants. I'm also pleased to welcome, thank you, sir. I'm also pleased to welcome our beloved Vice Principal, Dr. Govind Raju, sir, all deans, all head of all the departments and sections, my fellow colleagues and technical staff who are with us today here. This is a sacred occasion, and my warm welcome to all student participants and their parents for joining us today. Civil Engineering Department in BMSIT is a young department with lots of accolades and lots of accomplishments. Many of our faculty and students have won several awards and prizes and kept our departments and institutes flag soaring high. To name a few, Best Educator Award, Young Environmentalist Award, several SCI and Scopex Index publications, Best Paper and Presentation Awards by our faculty and students alike. These are few achievements of our departments. Our strength lies in our stakeholders, our alumni, our students, our faculty. So on this occasion, I extend a warm welcome to one and all. Now I request Dr. Velumani, sir, Associate Professor, Department of Civil Engineering, to introduce our chief guest to this August gathering. Velumani, sir, over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Rajesh Gopinath. Good evening, one and all.
Good evening, sir.
I am profusely overjoyed to take the opportunity to introduce our expert speaker of the day. Yes, he is Dr. Nilamani. Dr. S. Nilamani is a senior research scientist, Coastal Management Program at Kuwait Institute for Scientific Research. He has awarded PhD from Indian Institute of Technology, Madras in the year 1990 and was teaching in the Department of Ocean Engineering, IIT Madras from the year of 1990 to 2003. He was also holding additional in charges as NCC officer and sports advisor at IIT Madras. And he was the recipient of the Alexander von Humboldt Postdoctoral Research Fellowship in Germany during the years of 1996 to 1998. And he has more than 350 scientific papers in the reputed international and national journals and conferences. He also has many articles in newspapers and webs on topics which is useful for the society. He has coordinated about 60 research projects, 60 consultancy projects, and 40 scientific training programs in the domain of coastal engineering. His specialization is physical modeling on coastal and ocean structures, ocean energy, and marine environmental issues. He was bestowed with the Scientific Achievement Award by Kuwait Institute for Scientific Research for about 5 times from the year of 2009 for his distinguished scientific contribution and achievements. He was also awarded the Engineer of the Year by Tamil Nadu Engineers Forum, Kuwait, during the year of 2016 and got Lifetime Achievement Award in the area of coastal engineering by International Research Foundation, Chennai, in the year of 2016. He holds 3 US patents as lead inventor and many recognitions from around the world for these inventions. These US patents have won gold and silver medals in the international innovation exhibitions in Kuwait, Switzerland, and Germany. And apart from that, he has a hobby of guiding and counseling of school children to excel in their lives. So we welcome you, sir, once again for the nice speech. I think over to Rajesh, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Sir, our beloved principal sir has also joined. Good evening, sir. Sir, Nilamani sir, I would like to introduce our college to you with a small video, with your permission, and for the for the benevolence of all the participants, with the permission of principal sir, I will show a small video, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Please, sir. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. I don't know.
Institute of Technology and Management, a very vast green and serene campus which is close by to Bangalore. BMS ITM is part of a proud group of institutions called BMS, which is responsible for starting the first ever private engineering college and college was BMS Kharghar. We are so proud to be a sister institution of BMS Kharghar. The biggest strength of BMS ITM is the highly innovative and effective teaching learning processes. Our institution has got state-of-the-art laboratories, academic as well as support infrastructure here. And we have a DST, Department of Science and Technology sponsored Advanced Materials Research Lab function. In fact, many institutions both in Karnataka as well as are utilizing the services of these facilities here. We are practicing outcome-based education, which is of the order of the day in internationally reputed institutions. The idea here is to impart the kind of competencies and behaviors that are necessary in students to excel and solve the problems, complex engineering problems that may be there in society as well. Anybody who comes in contact with BMS IT, I'm sure they'll be relishing and enjoying their association with the institution. You are most welcome to this institute at any point in time.
Thank you. That was a brief glimpse of our college, which has gained several strides in success, though it's a very young institute. Now, with this few words, I would humbly request our chief guest and speaker for today, Dr. S. Nilapani sir, to take over the proceedings, and please start your session, sir. I shall be guiding you through with respect to pinning the presentation. Thank you, sir. Over to you, sir. Sir, you're on mute, sir. Nilapani sir, you're on mute, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes, sir. We can hear you. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Good evening, everybody, dear friends from all over India and faculties from BMS Institute of Technology and Management. Thank you very much for this calling. I am very, very happy to interact through BMS Institute of Technology and Management to the future engineers and their parents. First of all, I like to thank the principal of this institute, Professor Mohan Babu GN, the head of the Department of Civil Engineering, Professor Rajesh Gopinath, and Professor Velumani, P. Velumani, who was interacting with me for the last 1 week and doing all the arrangements for this webinar. I also like to thank my friend, Professor T. Palanisamy, Professor of NIT Surathkal, who has introduced me to this great institute. This is my passion. In fact, I love to interact with people through these type of presentations. So now I am going to the screen. So please tell me the first page is visible.
Yes, sir. You are.
Yeah, now you are presenting, sir. Just give me a moment. All participants are requested to pin sir's presentation.
The presentation is visible, sir.
Okay. So can I continue now?
Yes, sir. You may please continue, sir.
Okay. Wonderful. So next 1 hour we will interact, exchange knowledge to bring out the glory of civil engineering. The topic is prospective career aspects in civil engineering. What we are going to cover in this 1 hour lecture is like this. First, we will see in brief the history and general aspects of civil engineering, some of the latest technologies in civil engineering, and we will see the higher and the global educational prospects in this area, research avenues, entrepreneurship opportunities, placements in core and also in IT sector. And finally, we will spend some time how civil engineering knowledge is used in ocean and coastal engineering. Because last hundreds of years, ocean and coast is part and parcel of human life, human history, and civil engineers, they try to build infrastructure, civil engineering infrastructure inside the ocean, at the coast. So I will link how civil engineers work in this area as well. So civil engineering, if anybody asks civil engineering, few important messages I wish to share. Civil engineering is the oldest branch of engineering. Among all the engineering we talk, oldest is civil engineering. It is almost more than 5,000 years old. Why I say 5,000 years old? So 5,000 years back, people in Indus Valley, Egypt, Mesopotamian marshland area, Greece, they were all moving from one place to another place as a nomadic. That was a culture during those days. And at one point of time, they all felt it is good to stay at one place and try to live peacefully. So when that type of thinking came, people started reducing nomadic culture and they started staying in one place. So when people were staying in one place, that is the time the actual civil engineering has started. Civil engineering, if you know our history of the culture of people, Indus Valley civilization almost started 2500 years before the birth of Christ in Indus Valley. Here, if you see this figure, Indus Valley, Harappa, Mohenjo-daro, these are all very familiar. We all studied in history. But then, even those days, people have built their shelter as a civil engineer without any basic knowledge of strength of materials, structural engineering, concrete technology, no knowledge as on those days, but still people could able to see the nature, understand from nature, they could able to build homes for their living. So this is a starting point for civil engineering, actually. So this is another picture. If you see, this is from Mohenjo-daro, 2600 years before the birth of Christ. Still, if it is available there. So you can see the civil people who have done this type of construction. They were all civil engineers without BE degree. That is the only thing. If you come to the present day Iraq, Tigris Euphrates River, so this area was also was very civilized in those days, and people have built their homes. So from 3000 BC, they started making small huts using clay material, nothing other than that, only clay. They tried to build everything using clay. So if you move to the Egyptians, they were building pyramids of very high height pyramids. Without civil engineering education, they could able to build during 2700 to 2500 before Christ. So they were all wonderful civil engineers. And also Great Wall of China was built during 7th century by civil engineers. And Nalanda University in India in Bihar. This is one of the big building in the University of Nalanda, built during 7th century. Again, just using clay material, nothing other than that, only clay material. Then 10th century to 11th century, if you come to the southern part of India, this is one of the very famous temple built by Chola king, Bragadeswara temple during 10th century and 11th century in Tanjavur district. So we can talk almost an hour about the civil engineering aspect of this building itself. We will do it sometime later, the marvels in the civil engineering. Qutub Minar was also built during 13th century in New Delhi. And famous one for all of us and also to many engineers around the world is Taj Mahal. It was built during 1632. There were no engineering institute during those days in India, but still people could able to build them. The only thing is by common sense, by observing the nature, understanding the principles of strength of materials, load distributions, all by nature understanding. And then slowly people started understanding the mechanics of solids, mechanics of fluids, hydraulics. So then the actual knowledge came in books and notes and papers. And this is the starting time when people built Panama Canal connecting Pacific and Atlantic Ocean, 80 kilometer. In those days, it was an amazing civil engineering structure, waterfront structure, built during 1881. Then 1986, Lotus Temple in New Delhi during 1986, we can see how the history has changed in infrastructure development. When people started building infrastructure connecting two countries, but passing under the sea bed, tunnel, subsea tunnel. So civil engineering has gone into the sea for making subsea tunnels during 1990. Further knowledge development has resulted in construction of bridges like this. You can imagine. See here, there is no support for hundreds of meters. There is no support. The load is going through the cable. So during 1998, such marvels happen in civil engineering. Also, people took a lot of interest to build bridges crossing mountains and valleys. So this is one good example of Millau Road Bridge in France during 2004, a marvel in civil engineering. It is not that easy to build such infrastructures, but then civil engineers learned to build them. Recent years, some of the historical development in this part of the world, Gulf part. For example, inside the ocean, people could be able to develop islands like a palm tree in Dubai, successfully analyzed, designed, constructed, and it's a glorious piece of civil engineering marvel in Dubai during 2006. And you are also surprised to see people could be able to go up to 828 meter high building in Dubai. And here in Kuwait, we are planning for a building of 1001 meter. So the planning is going on. And in the future, you will see a high-rise building of 1001 meter height in Kuwait, very close to my office here. People also change the architectures to make them beautiful, appealing. So these aspects have penetrated into civil engineering, like this piece of structure in Abu Dhabi called the Capital Gate. So people have built such type of infrastructure. And water retaining structure is an important element in civil engineering, like reservoirs and dams. One of the biggest dam built on the earth is Three Gorge Dam in China, with hydropower capacity of 22,500 megawatt. Started during 2006, completed during 2016 in 10 years. So this is one of the marvel in civil engineering. So like this, you can show thousands of examples of the marvels and the knowledge which has gone for infrastructure development, which is the basic requirement for any human being nowadays. Basic requirement for a human being, fundamental, basic, is house, road, water movement structure, sewage movement structure, reservoirs, bridges, traveling, setting arrangements in hills, in valleys. So these are all the very, very basic requirements. And this is what a civil engineer is supposed to do. So with this background, I will now start the actual presentation. Only during 1792, John Smelton, so he's a British person, He was the first civil engineer, a proclaimed civil engineer in the earth from the history. So before this time, there is nobody authentically says I am the civil engineer. So he is the first person based on his experience of design of bridges, canals, harbors, lighthouses. So he proclaimed that he is a civil engineer. So that is a starting time to start the universities, institutes around the world developing infrastructure to offer civil engineering degree. So he is called the father of civil engineering. So now you know from the 5-10 minutes of talk what is civil engineering. The clear definition for civil engineering is it is a professional engineering. It is a dealing with the design, construction, maintenance of all physical and naturally built environment, including public work such as roads, bridge, canals, dams, airport, sewage system, pipelines, structural components of any building and railways. So this is a clear definition of civil engineering. So anybody doing 4 years of civil engineering, they will learn the knowledge to take care of this professional requirement. The major topics a civil engineer learn, you can divide them into major 3 components plus all the other components. One is civil engineers learn about the solid, the physical aspects of solid, any solid, starting from rock and metals, concrete, so like that, plastics. So the civil engineer first they learn applied mechanics, strength of materials, how strong a material is. If you apply tension, if you pull the material, push the material, apply torsion on the material, bend the material, a civil engineer should know what is the strength of the material, at what point the material break. Any material available on the earth which is used for construction of any type of civil engineering infrastructure, a civil engineer should learn about the strength property. So that is very, very important to select the right material. Then the civil engineer also do analysis of structure. If you ask a civil engineer, can you please build a 5-story complex, he should do an analysis and he should know what type of stress, shearing stress, bending stress, tension, compression, all these stresses he should be able to get at each and every joint and each and every location. So that is another important aspect a civil engineer should know. That is called a structural analysis. And the civil engineer should be able to design the structure, houses or bridges or roads. He should be able to design. Basically, design means he should be able to give what is the thickness of the each material, like the beam you see in the house, what is its depth, what is its width, how much steel you need to put inside to take the tension. So like that, he should be able to design each and every element in the infrastructure economically. That is what a civil engineer do. So this design is applicable for any type of material, not only for concrete or steel, any material. The civil engineer learn to design them optimally. This is the main difference. In many parts of the world, during house construction, many people, they don't involve engineers because they think it is expensive. They give it to an experienced person without engineering degree. So they do every construction based on their experience. They do not know whether they are putting unnecessarily high volume of material or low strength of material. They do not know very clearly. Whereas a civil engineer, based on analysis, he optimally design the members and elements in the infrastructure. This is the beauty of the civil engineering learning. And this is solid, about solid. And the next is any civil engineering structure has to rest on soil. So when something is resting on soil, a high-rise building, it will, the load of the whole building go down into the soil. So a civil engineer should know about the engineering mechanics of soil and how to design the foundation to make sure the building will not sink with the differential settlement. It should not happen. Then it will be a big problem for the life of the building. So a civil engineer learn the science and engineering of soil mechanics and the principles of foundation. So based on the strength of the ground, the civil engineer will select appropriate foundation, starting from simple footing to piles or ground, improving the strength of the ground. All these things he learned in civil engineering. This is regarding the soil. Third one is regarding fluid, because civil engineering also is building infrastructure like dams, or see you have to supply water from one place to all the homes in any village or in any city. So the civil engineer need to plan how to properly supply water from a source to all the infrastructures. So he should learn hydraulics, fluid mechanics, fluid dynamics, free flow of water in river, in ocean. So these are all connected with the fluid. If he learns these things, he learn in BE civil engineering. A person with good learning of this subject, he will do a correct design of the water supply and sanitation system, because he is the one to select the pipeline diameter, what material need to be selected, how much pumping capacity of motor you need to push the water from one place to another place. All these things he learns in civil engineering BE degree in the courses like hydraulics, fluid mechanics, open sea hydraulics and all. So these three are the very, very basic in solid, soil and fluid. So almost 70% of his learning, civil engineer learning, is focused on these three related subjects. Then he also learns about roads, how to build roads correctly, economically, with the highest life. He learns. Also, he learns how to build infrastructure for railway and the airport, including analysis and design. So this he learns in civil engineering. And civil engineering infrastructure you have to build everywhere, in a valley, in a plain area, or in a mountain. So we need to know the elevation of different locations to design not only the infrastructure, also design of water supply and sanitation. Because if your infrastructure is on a hill and if your water supply is 100 meter down here, then you should know what is the elevation of your infrastructure, so that you could able to design the water supply. So for this, civil engineer also learn survey. It is one of the important area. Then a civil engineer also has to learn environmental engineering. Because all this infrastructure, they are all in the environment where sunlight, air, and nature is interacting with your infrastructure. So the engineer should know how to efficiently use the natural forces in the construction of infrastructure, like good lighting. Without spending much of your electricity, you should be able to orient the building for sunlight, and also he has to orient the building for good airflow inside, air replacement, for the health of the people living in the infrastructure, he should do. Also, the construction related pollution and the effect of the air pollution on the infrastructure, water treatment related issues, these are all in environmental engineering, and many more. But then these are the major discipline a civil engineer should learn thoroughly for his career. The sub-disciplines of civil engineering, there are many. I am giving only some. Some of the sub-disciplines, a good civil engineer can easily work in this discipline. If somebody is doing 4 years, learning the knowledge thoroughly, he will easily fit in this engineering. These are all sub-disciplines like coastal engineering, developing infrastructure in the coast, in the construction engineering. These are all specialization. Also, earthquake engineering. In a place like Gujarat or Himachal Pradesh, where it is earthquake prone, you have to learn a little bit more on structural dynamics, the dynamics of the structure you are designing, and how to make the structure not to fail during earthquake. You should allow the infrastructure to move around, but without failing. How to design that. So you little bit extend your knowledge to learn earthquake engineering. Environmental engineering, as I was telling, forensic engineering, geotechnical engineering. There is a full focus on soil mechanics and foundation. Or a civil engineer easily can become a material engineer because he studies strength and behavior of material. He can easily become a material engineer for manufacturing of cement or flooring material or any other material useful for civil engineering. And a civil engineer easily can become an expert for site development and planning, okay, in any location. Or he can become an expert in the area of structural engineering, where he will do only analysis and design of structure. Or he can be an expert in surveying or transportation engineering, or developing municipal and urban infrastructure, or an expert in water resources, supplying the water, distributing them correctly and all, or the systems in civil engineering. These things, with a bachelor degree in civil engineering, if somebody spends 2 years doing masters, they will become expert in these discipline. That is what it is. What civil engineers do, now you know what they do. They are the people, they are the creators of any infrastructure. You agree with me? And they create all the infrastructure to make our life comfortable. This is what very important. Finally, whatever is the infrastructure, it should give us a comfortable feeling, a joyful feeling. In good olden days, a civil engineer used to take both engineering as well as architectural aspect in good olden days. But nowadays, civil engineers mostly focus on the items I am talking, and you have with you architect who make the makeup of the infrastructure or beautifying the infrastructure, whether it is interior of an infrastructure or outside the infrastructure. You have now experts in architecture. Civil engineers, these are all the roles they have to play. first of all, a good engineer, civil engineer, he should know how to reduce the cost of infrastructure. This is what you are spending 4 years to learn. At the end of 4 years, if I come to you, can you please, I have a flat here, please build a 7-story building. You should apply your knowledge and tell me you can build them at the lowest price with the highest standard. So the knowledge you gain in civil engineering will help you in this aspect. This is what it is. And he should be able to design such that, or design or construct in a very quality infrastructure to make sure the infrastructure have the longest lifespan. Okay. So the civil engineer knows how much water he has to use while making the concrete mix. Whereas a person without knowing civil engineering, they do not know. They just take water and then pour it in sand and cement, just like that, for their convenience, and they use it. That is not the engineering. A civil engineering, he learns what is the water cement ratio correctly used. So he applies the knowledge that gives the highest life for the infrastructure. So that is what he knows. And because of quality construction, the infrastructure will need less repair and maintenance. So the civil engineer give assurance for this. Also the risk reduction of structures. A good civil engineer can design a structure which will not fall down or fail during earthquake or tsunami attack or cyclone attack or poor soil condition, because he knows how to design the infrastructure to take care of all these things. That is what the risk reduction part. And then the civil engineer also learn how to reduce the material used for infrastructure, or how to reuse some of the material. For example, plastics, the waste plastics available nowadays, civil engineer, they are using it for road construction, quality road construction, or even recycling of material. The waste steels, they recycle it again as a reinforcement, like that. Waste plastics, they use it for recycling as a good quality construction material. So these aspects also the civil engineer know. When I talk civil engineer, the very noble person we all need to know is Bharat Ratna Sir Vishwesvaraya Shab. See, we celebrate, the whole India celebrates Engineers Day by his name. He is a civil engineer. Okay, we all should feel very proud that a civil engineer is behind the Engineers Day celebration in India, not any other branch. That way I personally feel very proud as a civil engineer because of this particular aspect, because he was the one responsible for developing many high quality dams and waterway infrastructure in India. So latest technology, now we come to latest technology. For example, you see 25-30 years, these items, what I'm going to mention, they are all occupied the civil engineering development. Many type of new materials people started using. And a lot of lightweight concretes people invented, they started using to make sure the building is light. And the self-curing concrete people have invented to accelerate the construction and curing process. Kinetic roads, for example, while you run on the road, you are spending energy on the road. So people nowadays started getting energy from your exercise on the road or the vehicles moving on the road. So people are using technology to extract energy from using of roads, that's called kinetic roads. People also started making green buildings. Basically, green building is not a building with a green color, a building which should use less energy, produce less waste, should use natural elements to a large extent, like wind, sunlight. They should try to use a natural element to a large extent, reduce any artificial items like that. Then people also using nowadays smart buildings. Smart building is a building which will have sensors for controlling the air temperature inside the building. So like that, the building itself acts as a smart person. And people do modeling using 3D technology for ease of construction. Also, to make construction quicker, quick construction is sometimes required. People make modular construction. I will show you a picture. And a lot of advanced construction technologies, machines, new type of construction machines. These are all in latest technology. For example, the modular construction, if you have a building, what nowadays people do, people divide the building into a number of components. Say your home, you need a home. People divide them into 10 or 15 components. These components, each component, they make it in the factory like this module. They bring them to the site, assemble in few days. So that is what modular construction technique. So you need not to spend a lot of time in the construction site. So these are all made in the factory easily and then assembled within no time. Higher and global education opportunity for civil engineer. After BE, I'm sure you all know you can go either to ME or MTech or MS. After finishing that, you can go for PhD. Some of the promising field is structural engineering, geotechnical, environmental engineering, water resources, construction management, urban development, coastal and ocean engineering, remote sensing application, and many more. These are all the one very promising for higher studies. When we talk about job, particularly everybody is interested anyway, finally for job, whether you do engineering or any other discipline. Basically, you can divide the civil engineering job into three categories. Either you work for government, state government or central government, or you work for a private company where they do infrastructure development, or you can start your own industry. Civil engineering is one of the best field in engineering for self-employment. Nowadays, many youngsters, they love to do their own industry. This is a trend we can see now because of ease of getting loans from different schemes of the government. So people love to start their own industry, construction industry, and it is really a good option, in fact, I should say. If you talk about government jobs, either public work in public works, basically you can divide them like this in government sector, public, PWD we call, public work where they take care of buildings and dams like that, or water supply and drainage board. Every state in India, they have this particular stream where they take care of supplying water to the home, to office, to industry, and also sanitation, collecting the wastewater, treatment and disposal. So engineer work for that particular government sector. Or engineers work for military to develop infrastructure. Like Army, Air Force and Navy, they all need infrastructures, permanent and temporary infrastructures. So the engineers, they work for government there. And also most of the governments nowadays have environmental department where engineers, the civil engineers, they work to give clearance for users. If they propose a new type of infrastructure, the engineers working in this sector, they have to give the final yes or no based on the negative and positive aspects of the construction. So you work here as an environmental engineer, or you work for developing the state government highways or railways, or you work for developing the port, maintaining the port, or developing and maintaining airport. So every port and airport needs civil engineers. So and many more like that. So this is under government sector. Central government, I'm sure many of you also know about this. Some of the central government are PSU, public sector organizations. Most of them have their shares also in Bombay Stock Exchange and National Stock Exchange. In India, particularly, these are all some of them. I'm not placing everything in India available, like Oil and Natural Gas Commission, National Thermal Power Corporation, Indian Space Research Organization, Defense Research Development Organization, Baba Atomic Research Center, Engineers India Limited. They take a lot of engineers. Gas Authority of India Limited. Like that, the things goes. Central Public Work, Coal India. So engineers working in Coal India, they are responsible for exploiting coal fields, coals in the coal fields. Indian Railway Construction International. Also, Government of India have National Building Construction Corporation. Like this, many PSU companies, they are available for civil engineers. After 4 years of engineering, if you write Indian Engineering Service Examination through Public Service Commission, if you write and once you got selected, you will work for Government of India directly in many subsector like Border, Road and Engineering Service, Central Engineering Service, Central Engineering Service for military of road transport, Central Water Engineering. What you do, water engineering in the state, you do for the center. So there you will work to connect rivers or construction of infrastructure in the river area, in the coastal area, like that, Central Water Engineering. Or you work directly to defense as a military engineer, or in Indian Ordnance Factory, you work as engineer, Indian Railway Service, Indian Railway Store Service, or you work as an engineer in Survey of India, Indian Inspection Services, PNP in Government of India, also military engineering service. Like this, there are many, even in central government. So plenty of jobs available in state and central government. And if you come to private companies, again, you have a number of good companies for civil engineers, starting from Tata, Birla, Reliance, Larsen and Toubro, Afcons, Garmin India, DLF, Coromandel Engineering. So the list goes like that: GMR Infrastructure, IL and FS, HDIL, National Construction Companies, IRB. So the number goes, I'm giving only some of the promising private companies where you can join and you can work starting from analysis, design, construction, supervision, quality assurance, servicing, maintenance, so many things. So you can also join in promising private companies. The type of job also, we can divide them as per the love of the engineer. See, some engineer, they love to work in open air, like me. See, I always love to go out to the ocean and work on ocean infrastructure. I really love that. I don't love to spend my time sitting in front of computer, only sometime. Otherwise, my love is go out and work as an engineer. So if that is your love, so you can be a construction engineer working in the construction of all type of infrastructure I was explaining, and you will make sure the quality of construction. That is what you do. So that is one. But then Some of you like to work within the building most of the time. If that is your liking, then plenty of jobs available. So you sit in front of computer, use different software to analyze the infrastructure and design the structure. Analyze, design, draw using different softwares. You do that. Then the final drawing from you will be handled by the engineer who is working in the field. So that way, so this is in the whole spectrum of civil engineering. You can also sit inside the building and do this. Or if you are interested in self-business, you don't want to work for government or private sector, no problem. Many of my own batchmates, they are all entrepreneurs. What they do is, they themselves do analysis, design, construction of multi-story building, flats and individual homes, and they sell it. So this is another area. You can make, you can use all the knowledges you learned, but then you have to construct and sell. You have to do the business. Many of my friends are very, very successful. They are doing this, my own batchmates. Or you can start your own industry where you can make bricks. In fact, one of my own batchmate is very famous brick maker, very well-known brick. He is making near E Road. So this is the manufacturing of bricks. Or you can make construction materials like tiles or flooring material, or you can take rocks and then polish them, make different type of materials required for construction. So these are all self-business. So this is all possible. So the pure entrepreneur, the idea of the entrepreneur is to build and then make profit. If you don't like any of these three, you can go to the next step. Civil engineering needs a lot of inventions. So you can become an inventor or a scientist in any area of civil engineering. So for that, you have to, after BE degree, you have to select a specialization like a structural engineering, geotechnical, coastal, water resource, environment. You can select and you do your master's. And then further you select for PhD, and further you go for postdoctoral fellowship, and you will become a specialist in that area, super specialist. Then what you will do after that, you will try to invent in that area. So this invention, civil engineering invention, finally the inventors, scientists and inventors in civil engineers, what is that they do? They try to invent new type of material, or they try to invent a concept to reduce the cost of infrastructure, or reduce the risk of the infrastructure, or increase the comfortability of the infrastructure. Like for example, in a Gulf country like this, outside temperature is sometimes reach 55 degrees centigrade, and inside temperature you have to keep 24 degrees centigrade. So the wall has to be thermally very high quality insulation is required. So people invent on a new type of material, a low cost material, which gives very high quality thermal insulation like that. So you can become an inventor in any area of civil engineering. So that is possible. So I already gave you some of the important companies, civil engineering company. Top 10 company in India, it was there in the list, previous list. So these are all the company. If somebody says, no, after you study civil engineering, if you get a special interest in software development and associated things like Python or cloud computing, like that, so it happens sometimes. See, you wanted to become a civil engineer, but at the end, some of you love to go for software job. There is no issue at all, because nowadays very good software companies. They do software as IT services to all type of engineering. So they do services in civil engineering, also in developing softwares for structural analysis, design, 3D printing, even the construction management, the process of material purchase and keeping orders. All these softwares, all these companies, they directly or indirectly they do. So you can also easily join some of these companies if you like. And the normal, only I'm giving a tip for a salary package in software. In hardware companies, it is a little bit different. For example, in software company, the salary, yearly salary varies anywhere from, for example, in India, this may be a little bit old, 3 lakhs to 6 lakhs. This is what the software company, they pay per year. But then in hardware companies, if you join in a typical hardcore company, based on your experience, the salary will shoot up very high within few years. So if they know you are an expert in a particular area, civil engineers, their salary shoots up very fast. What about the opportunity abroad? It is plenty for civil engineering, because every country needs infrastructure, and every country wanted to develop new type of infrastructure. So they all need innovative civil engineers. They don't need civil engineer, they need innovative civil engineer. That is the underline I have to quote. So if you are an engineer, civil engineer, make sure you are thorough with all the fundamental knowledges, as I was giving you, starting from the mechanisms of solid, liquid, and soil. You must be thorough on the fundamental, but you have to be a specialist in some areas. That is what the world needs. Top US companies where engineers work, I'm just giving this picture, but many of these companies around the world, top 500 company, at least 200 to 250 companies, they take civil engineers in top 500 in the world. Okay. Now a few minutes with the engineering job in Gulf countries versus in developed countries. In good olden days, the demand for civil engineers was very, very high in all the Gulf countries. Nowadays, slowly it is reducing because of the increased population, local population. But otherwise, in good olden days, the demand for civil engineers were very high. In future, hopefully it will come back. But the salary package, I have to mention you the salary package in Gulf countries. It varies from 10,000 US dollar to 100,000 US dollar. Depends on the experience and the specialization and the capability of the contribution. A civil engineer with 15 to 20 year experience, a specialist, his salary is order of 100,000 US dollar. A fresh engineer with 1 or 2 year experience, his salary will be only this much. And then as on date, there is no tax in Gulf country. As on date, in future it can change. But only difference is anybody working in US, Canada, Australia, or any other developed country, they will become citizens there over a period of time. But in Gulf country, citizenship is not possible. That is the only issue. And I already told you about the possibility of entrepreneurship. For civil engineer, it is very easy to start your own industry. It is not difficult. What about the research avenues in India and around the world? In general, very high for civil engineering, because most of the good engineering institutes in India and around the world, invariably you will see civil engineering department. Okay. So then they are all very old, 50 years, 60 years, hundreds of years of experience. So there is a good development within the institute for research. So scope is good for civil engineering research. As I told you, the research focus is, these are all the focus. You can select any one which you really love. New material, cost reduction, reduce, reuse, recycle, time saving in construction. You can do research on all these things. Quality improvement, improving the life and reducing the failures and risk. This is a general broad view of the area for civil engineers to do research. Fellowship for higher studies, hundreds of fellowships available. Some of the very open fellowship I am giving here. After you finish your bachelor degree or master's degree, if you wanted to go for higher studies, there are many good fellowships like DAD in Germany, Manbushu, a open fellowship in Japan, National Research Council of Canada, NRCC, like that, Conyac, Mexico, Fulbright in US, ASMI in Singapore. And if you go into MIT website, you will see in the civil engineering department, hundreds of fellowships offered by the institute, by many rich people who have invested their money, and from the interest of the money, they are giving fellowships. And a very open fellowship is a teaching and research assistantships in most of the university. And finally, few important civil engineering infrastructures in ocean and coastal engineering. A good civil engineer, if he has a thorough knowledge of civil engineering, he will easily become an engineer to develop infrastructure for ocean and coastal. Okay, the engineers in this area, particularly working in the ocean to develop infrastructure, either like this, floating homes or oil and gas drilling infrastructure, they are well paid compared to normal civil engineers. Their salary is high because they have to design for a challenging environment, or they have to go and work in a challenging environment. So a little bit of a risky job, but that is what the joy. So they get a little bit better pay, civil engineer working in ocean. And civil engineer, you see, they develop this infrastructure. They build the coastal infrastructure like port and harbors. And civil engineer, they also develop infrastructure like this, what you see here, for extracting energy from the ocean. Though the final objective is energy, you need civil infrastructure. Without civil infrastructure, it is not possible to extract energy. So a civil engineer required. Like this, even for offshore wind energy, you have to build civil infrastructure. Or to extract energy from tide, you have to build a concrete barrage. It's a concrete, like a dam, concrete dam, you have to build. Around the world, many billions of dollars people spend every year to protect the coastal property from erosion. They are all civil structures. See, these are all civil structures. This item you don't learn in BE, but in case if elective is available on coastal engineering, they will teach it. Otherwise, after BE civil engineering, you will go for higher studies to learn coastal engineering, where you will become an expert civil engineer to build infrastructures like this. Like this. These are all typical civil engineering. Okay. Typical civil engineering here, like in Netherlands, it is called a dike. It is called a dike, a civil engineering structure. When the sea is rough, it will try to overtop into the land to protect such overtopping, people build this infrastructure. Very typical civil structure, but the knowledge we have to learn through proper courses. Our people build innovative structure like this. It's an open ocean here with waves. And the civil engineers, they design, this is called a floating breakwater. So you learn all these things to make sure the waves here are very small for your port operation or even construction. People do construction in the open sea. So you need civil structure like that. Or people make a new type of marina. It is called marina, where the pleasure boats, like it is like a car parking, similar to car parking, it is a boat parking. So you see here, these are all our invention. We do this invention here, civil engineering invention applicable to coastal area. We have patent for all these things. So you make a concrete structures, like a beautiful concrete structure, which is not only cost effective, easy to build, easy to maintain, like that. So you will become an engineer in such things. Like this view you see here, we have displaced this conventional structure using an innovative wave barrier to dissipate wave energy. This is a typical civil engineering structure to be built in water, in ocean. Our people also protect using this is a simple civil structure, geotubes. Nowadays, people use very widely. A good civil engineer know how to select a suitable geotube to fill it with sand and protect the coastal infrastructure. Motivation for somebody to become a civil engineer, normally some good motivations, good life, respect in society, award for good quality, chances to go abroad, frequent chances you get, opportunity to work with intellectual, better salary and perks. This, BE or BTech 4 year, Masters 2 year, PhD, if you love to do it. A few minutes I wanted to tell. So now, after listening to this lecture, you may wanted to join in a good engineering institute, a reputed engineering institute like BMS. You would love to join in a good institute. There are criteria. So like the institute should have a beautiful ambience, like the institute, the BMS have a beautiful ambience, for example. Highly qualified faculties, state-of-the-art library, lab, other academic infrastructure, a frequent exposure to the field. You learn your knowledge subject, but then you should get an opportunity to the field construction areas. Also, the latest knowledge developed, the institute should be able to update periodically. High placements record. Very dynamic academic atmosphere. Surrounded by high aim-oriented faculties and students. Opportunity, you should get opportunity to expose to the latest developments in civil engineering. Excellent academic as well as non-academic facility like sports culture. These are all some of the things. So you should look into these things before selecting a good institute. Like a periodic opportunity to attend a guest lecture like this, you should get opportunity. So some of the institutes, they do this type of program frequently. So that way I really like BMS doing this for the benefit of the people. Some of the important prospects, as I told, it is plenty. World is looking for innovative engineers. This is what very, very important. So my important message, studying and gaining knowledge is one, but then we have to think, keep thinking, keep on thinking and finding solutions for different engineering problem in civil engineering, it will make an engineer an innovative person. Because the world is looking for innovative engineers nowadays. And the future is very promising for civil engineers. And especially with civil engineering, if you jump into C, you have much more prosperity. Personality, basically, like any engineering, you should love math, physics, chemistry, and you will be willing to learn new engineering development. Very, very important. Because I studied civil engineering during 1979-84. The syllabus of civil engineering from those days till now, if I see the syllabus, almost like 40-50% of the syllabus has completely changed. So this is how it is, because new developments comes and universities, they keep adding them. So you must be willing to learn new developments. Ready to face the challenges in civil engineering particularly. Lot of challenges you will face. Environmental challenges, challenges related to people in the construction, purchase, quality assurance, and you have to deal with government sector. If you work as an engineer, you have to deal with the politicians and common people one side. So you have to face challenges. So you should also love to travel and expose yourself to sun. You must be a self-learner. Since the knowledge is developing at very high rate nowadays, you have to be a self-learner. You should believe yourself, keep your mind open. You should feel hungry for new knowledge. Civil engineering have a lot of code books. So you have to learn these code books. Code books are like Bible or Quran or Bhagavad Gita, whatever you say. Because the truth of the engineering, civil engineering, they are all put in the code books. So you should be able to know how to use the code books. Okay. Engineer, if you join with a fresh engineering degree in a government, I am giving a ladder here for government. You will join as assistant engineer. Over a period of time, this is the ladder of promotion. You will become assistant executive engineer, superintending engineer. Finally, you will become chief engineer before retirement. This is what, in general, similar ladders are available in private and other sectors. But this is a ladder. Some quotes I will give you for engineering, particularly applicable for civil engineering. Life without engineering, we cannot imagine nowadays. Okay. Engineer, they serve humankind by making dreams come true. A common man who is going to build a house, he will have only dream in his mind. But you are the one, you will reveal the dream in terms of the infrastructure. So that way, you are the dream maker. The human foot is a masterpiece of engineering and the work of art. Some famous quote. And before I finish, if we don't have civil engineer and if we wanted to cross the bridge, we have to cross it only like that. To conclude, I will put down the conclusion like this. Civil engineering is one of the very, very interesting discipline. Oldest discipline. Civil engineering is a golden engineering. That's what we say. So that is number one. You can make wonders in civil engineering by involving yourself in infrastructure that will stand for hundreds of years with your name. Like many engineers who have contributed for the construction of wonderful infrastructures. The scope is plenty in civil engineering. Finally, the personal success of a civil engineer, it depends on knowledge, persistence, and his innovation in his work. These three together will make you a great civil engineer. Thank you very much. I will stop here and we will go for interaction and discussion.
Thank you, sir. It was really a pleasure to hear you speak because today morning, we heard you speak in an international conference as a keynote speaker. So, there's a lot of transformation as you spoke today early morning and now, because, you spoke in such simple words because you're aware that our audience are, kids or children who just, cleared the second PU or 12th. So it was really nice, your humility. I really appreciate and thank that. Sir, I've actually gone through some of the messages or, queries that they've asked for the benevolence of all my participants. Any queries that you have with respect to details of placement or, which is very specific to BMS Institute of Technology and Civil Engineering, you can, direct it to me. That is HOD_civil@bmsit.in. I'll be very happy to share those queries with you, and also some other questions which the audience has asked. Most of them, Neelamani sir has addressed it in his presentations. Sir, due to the short of time, okay, I don't believe there's any other queries which have been raised. Most of them have been answered by you, sir. So with your permission, can we continue towards concluding it? And for the information of all my participants, Dr. Neelamani sir is again going to speak on a technical talk, okay, probably in a couple of weeks later, for the benevolence of all civil engineering students at BMS Institute of Technology and Management. Neelamani sir?
Yeah, no problem, sir. No problem. I am available
Yes,
for
sir.
any question which I have not answered. I am available. No
Definitely,
problem.
sir. Definitely, sir. Because I understand. You just finished your keynote presentation, and then you directly come over here at our request. So, any queries which are there, which they may post it later, I will be, I forward it to you through Velimani, sir. And definitely, I'm looking forward to your kind presence and motivation further, sir. And sir, just for the benevolence of everybody, all those budding engineers, I would like to tell you one thing, civil engineering is the only field wherein, you can point out structures, you can, show buildings and dams and tell, that was designed by me, that was built by me. That is something which civil engineer offers you, the only field of engineering. So, my dear fellow participants, I think you've come to the right place and the right discipline, and I look forward to you once again. And also, I would like to, please, sir spoke about so many words of discipline, perseverance, diligence and hard work. Apart from this, you should understand that he was also focusing on innovation. That's very, very important, for any engineer to progress. So we need to always, upskill ourselves. That is what sir was trying to tell you. So with these few words and with the permission, with your permission, I would like to, extend, forward the session to Dr. Deepak to extend the vote of thanks. With your permission, may I do that, sir?
Sure. Wonderful, sir. Wonderful. Yeah, please go ahead, sir.
Yeah, Dr. Deepak?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, sir, Neelamani sir, I think you can stop presenting also, sir, so we can just, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Yes, sir.
I will stop presenting.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Stop presenting.
Yes, sir. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Stop presenting. Yeah. Okay, fine. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Just a moment. I'll pin our presenter, Dr. Deepak. I believe you're logged in through Dr. Velimani's system. Dr. Deepak, I humbly request you to, extend the vote of thanks. Over to you, Dr. Deepak.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Good evening to one and all. On this occasion of international webinar on perspective career aspects in civil engineering, it is my pleasure to extend the vote of thanks. I am Dr. Deepak MS, Faculty, Department of Civil Engineering, BMS Institute of Technology and Management. First and foremost, I extend my gratitude to our management and chairman for enabling us to conduct this international webinar. This was possible due to the outlook and constant motivation of our beloved principal, Dr. Mohan Babu sir. Now, it's my pleasure to thank our chief guest and speaker, Dr. Neelamani S., Senior Research Scientist, Kuwait Institute of Scientific Research, for his enlightening talk and inspiring thoughts for probable budding civil engineers. I also extend my gratitude to Vice Principal, Deans, and heads of various sections and departments. It's my pleasure to also thank all my colleagues, technical staffs, for their support and participation. Last but not the least, and most importantly, I express my thanksgiving to all the students and their parents who were with us in the journey of enlightenment in civil engineering. I look forward in seeing you all in our department. Thank you. Thank you all, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Deepak, and thank you, Neelamani sir. And with
Thank
this,
you very much.
yeah, thank you, sir. With this, we have come to an end of the session with respect to webinar, but this is the beginning of enlightenment, and we look forward to more interactions with an eminent person, a scientist, a civil engineer who is a scientist. It'll be really a pleasure, and for the benevolence of everyone, Neelamani sir is going to shortly, probably after a couple of weeks, he'll be sharing his knowledge about importance of research. And when it comes to coastal engineering, he is the best. So we really look forward to your presence, sir. With these few words and with the consent of the office bearers, with the permission of principals in absentia, now I would request Dean Manjunath sir, Dean External Affairs, sir, with your permission, may I conclude this webinar, sir? Manjunath sir?
Mm-hmm.